So, I'm sure this might be unexpected to some. I think I should explain a bit of context first. See, on this channel, I have a series of videos under the title of Trash or Treasure, where I take a look at either a beloved or hated game and give my own 2 cents on it. Well, I came to discover a channel by the same name, and so to give these videos a bit of a push, I decided it was time for a rebrand, this time going under the new name of Unnostalgic Opinions. It's the same concept, just a different name. And in celebration of the Super Mario Galaxy movie, as well as a freaking surprise direct on May 6th, the first episode of this rebranded video series will be Star Fox 64. Roll the intro. Alright, first episode of Unnostalgic Opinions. Let's see if I flub this up or not. So, Star Fox 64, am I right? Arguably one of the most beloved entries in the franchise, right next to Star Fox Adventures, though for, different reasons.
Wow, she's beautiful.
Now, me personally, I've only ever been exposed to Star Fox 64 during the early days of the 3DS's lifecycle via its remake, though it should be noted that I'm using the PC recompiled version for better picture quality and performance. I did at least try to play the original 64 via the Wii U Virtual Console during the making of this video. So, here's the question. Is this game truly as good as people make it out to be, or is it only good with the benefit of nostalgia? Let's answer that with the plot first. Okay, so the plot of Star Fox 64 is just like Zero's story and the new Star Fox game coming to the Switch 2. But in short, Team Star Fox flies from planet to planet to stop the villainous Andross from taking over the Lilat system. One difference between 64 and Zero that should be noted is that depending on how well you play, determine which version of Andross you fight against. For instance, in my initial playthrough for this video, Andross' second phase has this robotic head instead of
Only I have brains.
glorified nightmare fuel for kids in the 90s if Lord Zed didn't already do that for them. If you fight against Andross' brain and eyes, that's how you know you got the true ending to 64, so it's not multiple endings per se, thank fucking everything. Though, if there's one thing I have to say about the dialogue, because yes, this game does feature full voice acting, which is surprising considering the max size of an N64 cartridge is roughly 64 megabytes, but it comes from the written dialogue.
I'll do my best. Andross won't have his way with me.
Good night, everybody!
Are you gonna listen to that monkey? Time to show the monkeys who's boss!
Well, I can certainly say that won't fly these days. Yeah, as much as I did like Zero for streamlining the story to have a more linear progression path, admittedly I liked 64's hilariously innuendo-filled dialogue more. Alright, this was also the proper debut of Starwolf if you're not counting Star Fox 2, and given voices of characters such as Wolf O'Donnell himself nowadays, giving him a more rougher and more gruff voice, hearing his original 64 voice sounds jarring, but still recognizable. May Jock Blaney rest well in heaven. But, yeah, that's honestly all I have to say about the story. It's simple. Very, very simple. As for the gameplay, okay, so the gameplay has us in the pilot seat of Fox from beginning to end. Name of the game is Fly, fight a boss, shoot shit up, yada yada. It's the same thing as Zero, except with no walker. It should also be noted that this was also the introduction to all range mode, something I completely forgot to talk about in my Zero video. Basically, you get free range to go wherever you want to in limited space, in essentially free flight dogfighting combat, like with the encounters against Starwolf, or that one mission that looks something right out of Independence Day, where you get to help out Fox's totally not boyfriend Bill. Unlike in Zero, however, if you do end up getting the hyper lasers, you don't lose them upon taking damage, which I'm still trying to wrap my brain around that baffling decision. I know hyper lasers are the strongest upgrades you could get, which can make some encounters a complete joke, but still, why?
Why? Why? Why? Why? Why?
It's dumb! Admittedly, one area I was kinda glad got removed from Zero was the solar level, because I am shuddering in fear imagining how many people would go blind from seeing this area in Zero if 64 3D didn't do that already. Oh fucking wait! Now, as I said before, I'm using the PC recompiled version, so the game runs at a smooth 60 FPS, but I'd honestly go as far as to say that the 30 FPS of the original Star Fox 64 is just as good. Hey, it's at least better than the 12 FPS of SNES original. Seriously, I've seen Morrowind and Peter Jackson's King Kong the movie video game run better on the Zemu emulator. Now, this is where I really want to highlight the replayability of Star Fox 64. I know I called Zero replayable, but 64 is where replayability is the franchise's bread and butter, with a side of Furry Awakenings in the early 2000s. Granted, it just goes for get the highest score possible, but the gameplay in general is so addictive that you might even grow balls to take on expert mode, where the game really doesn't hold back and really test your skills. So overall, I'd say 64's gameplay definitely held up. Now, visually, yeah, I am willing to admit, this being the infant days of 3D gaming, the graphics don't hold up the best, but at the same time, I think it looks good for the console it was released on. Keep in mind, the brainlets at Nintendo at the time still decided that the N64 was sticking with cartridges, whereas the PlayStation 1, which came out 2 years prior, was making beelines with its new CDs for not only a higher amount of space you could store, but also better quality models. Only took Nintendo until after the incident to release a console with CDs. And even then, they screwed the pooch on it. Newsflash, Big N, it didn't stop the pirates! But even with that setback, I think for a game released on a cartridge, Star Fox 64 looks pretty good. Corneria looks very pretty especially, and same goes for Venom. As I said before, Solar is a level I can live without, since it tends to give me a headache with the overabundance of red and orange. And as for OST, I say it's pretty damn memorable. I mean, there's the title theme, Corneria, Venom, Andross, and Starwolf. There's a reason why these tracks made it into the Smash Brothers series. Alright, let's recap. While I think the story is simple, the gameplay is addictive if you're looking for a game to scratch that itch for an arcade-style shooter. Visually, it didn't really hold up the best in some instances, and OST, I mean, come on, this is the birth of some of the most iconic tracks in the franchise. So, let's wrap up the first episode of Unnostalgic Opinions with my final verdict. Overall, I can say I had a pleasant time with Star Fox 64. Well, sure, I'm not as good with aiming with analog sticks compared to gyro controls or VR controllers. I can still say I enjoyed my time with it. If you're looking to play Star Fox 64, then I cannot recommend the PC recompiled version enough if you're looking to play it in a smooth 60 FPS. While the story, especially compared to later entries, is simple, I say it's excusable considering it's retelling the story of the SNES original. So, overall, with all that in mind, can someone who never grew up with Star Fox 64 still enjoy the game without having any prior nostalgia for it? Yes. Yes, you can. And with that, ends the first episode of Unnostalgic Opinions. I hope you all enjoyed this test pilot, I guess you could say, and I hope to come up with more in the future. As always, I want to hear from you all. Did you grow up playing Star Fox 64? What are some of your fondest memories of the game? And is it a game you could recommend to someone who never grew up playing it? Please leave your answers and more down in the comments below. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and while you're here, consider subscribing and turning on the bell to be notified whenever I make a new video. As always, my social media links along with my Twitch are down below. I've been Howard Kid the Reviewer, and I will catch you all in the next review. Take care, everybody.